This is Super Yacht News in association with Go Earth Boating, navigating boat buyers to better deals. Hi, welcome back to the channel. So we've got a bit of news on motor yacht NORD. We haven't featured this yacht for a long time. If you remember back in 2022 and onwards, there was a lot of coverage of this vessel as she evaded sanctions and went dark and switched off at AIS. Then there was an incident in Hong Kong where the vessel put in a destination of South Africa and caused a big political ruckus in South Africa because they thought the vessel was heading there and they were talking about whether it should be allowed in or not. The vessel never went to South Africa. It actually went to the Maldives, which brings us up to date, sort of, in a weird sort of missing out lots of information way. But the vessel had a pattern of traveling almost the same time every September from Vladivostok in Russia, which is the base. That vessel is based in Vladivostok since the war in Ukraine started. And the vessel would sail to the Maldives, which is where we spotted her after she went dark in the Indian Ocean. Well, this year, the vessel has actually put in Malé as a destination AIS while still in Vladivostok in Russia. Well, that's the first time the vessel has actually done that since 2022. Now, on the 9th of October, the vessel changed AIS whilst still moored in Vladivostok to Malé, and with an arrival date of the 27th of October. But the point is that the vessel's AIS destination being put in straight away is the first time that the vessel's done that in a long time. And the reason why is because the vessel was not broadcasting her destination to anybody. The vessel would sail through the Straits of Malacca by Singapore, heading west into the Indian Ocean, and once there she would turn off her AIS and go dark. But the pattern over the last few years is to go to Malé and also to the Seychelles as well. So yeah, very interesting. Now the yacht is owned by Alexei Mordozhov, who was sanctioned by the UK, the US and the EU at the beginning of the war. He has spoken in favour, or he's spoken in a way that supports the war, and also the companies that he owns, mining companies, they supply raw materials to the Russian war effort. The vessel's actually, after it left Vladivostok, it dropped anchor outside in the bay and it's still sat there. So destination points to Malé, but the vessel's currently at anchor just outside of Vladivostok. But it'll be interesting to see if that vessel actually heads there any time soon. Okay, so we'll move on to our next story. In a recent video, we talked about motor yacht Luminosity. Luminosity has been laid up in Montenegro since 2022, purchased by Andrei Guriev from Bonetti, direct from Bonetti after a sea trial. He was on board for that sea trial, we understand, and the vessel was delivered to him, and a week later he was sanctioned, and that yacht has been sat there ever since. Skeleton crew manned, barely any work being carried out on it as far as we can see, certainly not on the outside. So the vessel, yeah, is looking pretty bad in a current state. Now, we said that we thought that the vessel might have been sold. We said that we heard of an offer of 75 million euros on the vessel by a Turkish businessman, who we believe to be Mr. Yildirim from the Yildirim Group in Turkey. But the vessel was taken from her listing on Blue Ocean Yachting, and we suspected that maybe that offer had been accepted. However, one of the things about that yacht being laid up in Montenegro is that they owe money to various companies in the area, as well as crew. And before that vessel could leave, once the vessel sold, that money would need to be paid off before the vessel was allowed to leave, right? So, and they've told us that so far they've not heard anything and they've not received any funds. So we don't know if the vessel has been sold, and we'll have to keep looking at that. If you've got any information about that, we'd be interested in hearing about it. The yacht's original build cost is around 245 million euros. The yacht was rejected by the person who ordered it, a Q80 billionaire, and it was then listed for sale by Bonetti. Andrei Guriev purchased the yacht. Now, the last time it was for sale, it was 2019, listed for sale, should I say, and the asking price was around 225 million euros. And the vessel was recently for sale on Blue Ocean Yachting for 135 million euros. That's a 110 million euro difference from the original price. And like I said, we heard there was an offer made of 75 million euros by this Turkish businessman. So that's quite the come down, isn't it? Needs a lot of work though, that vessel. So yeah, but still, if they're able to purchase it at 75 mil, I think that's still a pretty good bargain. It's a 107 meter, 353 foot yacht, almost 6,000 gross tons. It's one of 3 yachts built by Bonetti that's over 100 meters. We've talked about that before. Anyway, we still waiting to confirm that story or not. Now, if you've got information about that, please be sure to get in touch. Now, there's a new thriller out on Netflix. It's called The Woman in Cabin 10. It is it's a thriller with Keira Knightley, starring from the one from Pirates of the Caribbean, and it's based on a super yacht. And in the show, the yacht's name is Aurora Borealis, and it flies a Norwegian flag, and it's meant to be in Norway, I believe, or they're meant to be sailing to Norway. Now, the yacht in the show is a real yacht, but it's not called that. It's called Motor Yacht Savannah, and it flies the Marshall Islands flag in reality. So they've put that flag on for the show, clearly. Now, like I said, it's when they filmed that show, it's meant to be. I think that when they board it, I haven't seen the show myself, but when they board it, I believe they're in the UK, and then they sail to Norway, I think. Now, I've only seen the trailer, but it's interesting. A couple of things I've seen from it. There's one scene where she first boards the vessel, and they ask her to remove her shoes, which is quite realistic. Because mostly for the crew removing shoes, it all depends on the yacht. Most of the time I've seen when visitors go on board, they're allowed to keep their shoes on, but every yacht is different. And one of the things the woman says to her is that if you have to take your shoes off and put them in the basket, and if you need any shoes or any socks or anything, we'll supply them. But if you notice in the footage, the deck is actually wet at the time. So if they were going to force people to remove the shoes on a wet deck, they'd have to supply them with something to wear. But it's pretty realistic, the scene. I'll have to watch the show, and then maybe I'll do a video where we can talk about how realistic it is, what they show on board. Now, Motor Yacht Savannah was built by Fedship. It's an 85-meter yacht, 274 feet. We've done a lot of stuff on Savannah over the years. I think I did one in Monaco years ago, like maybe 2018 or something like that, where I talked about it from outside. It can carry 22 guests in 10 cabins. Built in 2015. It's one of the first yachts built that could run on hydrogen, but it uses methanol to create it. It does not have hydrogen fuel cell like Breakthrough. But the same company that built it, though, Fedship. Value is around $140 million. Now, the owner was Lucas London, not London, from Switzerland. He died in 2022, and his family put the yacht up for sale soon after. But it only sold in 2025 after the price was reduced by almost 30 million euros. And the yacht changed hands, like I said, this year. So the new owner obviously making some money from Keira Knightley and the crew going on board. Now, there's an article I saw where they're talking about how they filmed on board. There was a lot of people. I think they said there was 70 of them. The actors and the crew came to 70 people, but there's only room for like 22 people. So they must have been filming during the day and then leaving at night, because they couldn't have 70 people on board overnight. But they were talking about how they weren't allowed to touch things and stuff like that. So it's quite a fun interview. Like I said, I'll watch the show. Maybe we'll do a little review of the show, and we can talk about how realistic what we see in the footage is. Like I said, I've only seen the trailer, which you're seeing right now as I talk about it. But yeah, it's always good to see a super yacht on TV. Before we do the Friday Yacht Spot, I just wanted to say one thing about memberships. I've seen a lot of comments recently that people think that we're putting stuff out only for members and we're taking things away from the viewers. That's not true at all. Memberships is for extras, behind the scenes on trips to the yacht shows, like the Monaco Yacht Show. We did a lot of behind the scenes footage, a lot of extra footage. You can see I've got a lot of information on the screen, etc. We also do a video called Members Chat, which is most days of the week, where I talk about what's happening. Hi all, welcome back to another chat. Let's talk about yachts, shall we? Breakthrough sold in September. I also talk about some of the equipment that I use if I buy new equipment, because, you know, these trips that we do to Monaco, they are paid for by the patrons, or by the members, should I say now, because we have YouTube members now. So without those people, we would not be able to do these trips, because it's quite expensive to do those trips for accommodation and travel and everything. So we give them updates on what's happening, what equipment we're buying, things like that. So it's extra stuff. All of the things that we always posted on YouTube are staying on YouTube. So just want to put that out there. Okay, so it's Friday, so we'll move on to our Friday yacht spot. The first yacht on the list here is Yacht Chaos. This is a 110 meter or 361 foot yacht built by Ocean Co. in 2017. It's called Chaos, K-A-O-S. Owner is Nancy Walton-Laurie. This is filmed in Dubrovnik. We don't know who the sender is. A quick word about that. If you are sending in footage and you want a credit, please just write the credit should be this name. And that way we'll know whether you want to be credited or not. If there's no name, we just put unknown sender. Like I said, built by Ocean Co. in 2017. 31 guests in 24 cabins. She's a big girl. 4,500 gross tons. Value of about $300 million. Now, this yacht has been vandalized a couple of times in Spain by lunatics spraying paint onto the vessel for some political reasons, which I'm not going into. But it's been fixed each time, of course, and those people were arrested. We'll move on now. We've got this is a cool bit of footage here. This is sent in to us by Sail NYC. This is the yacht Night Owl. It's on the Hudson River, as you can see. This was just on Sunday, last Sunday. And you can see that there's a helicopter taking off from the aft deck, from the sun deck there. Now, you might think it's kind of dangerous, all those people on board on the outside deck. But what they've done is they've sent them all up to the forward deck there, which is the safest place to be when a helicopter's taking off. You can see there's no people on the lower decks underneath where the helicopter is. A lot of big downdraft down there when the helicopters do take off. And you're not allowed to have people out there. So it does kind of look a bit chaotic, but it's actually very, very well organized. They've got everybody into the right place, corralled them in there. So really good footage there. The helicopter's doing a bit of fancy flying there. Maybe they're filming from the helicopter, and then obviously on it goes and flies away. Next on the list, we've got Yacht, or this is Project Y722, also known as Yacht Leviathan. This is built by Ocean Co. And it's in the Alblasserdam shipyard. Unknown sender again. 111 meter yacht, 364 feet. This is the latest yacht for Gabe Newell, who owns a lot of yachts now. It's not yet delivered. That's why it's still at the factory there. It's still getting finished, I guess. Almost 5,000 gross tons. This is the biggest yacht Gabe Newell has owned. Now, it was because when he ordered this yacht, it was when he decided he was going to buy the company. He owns majority shares in Ocean Co. now. And it was because during the process of building this yacht, he liked the company so much. Like the Remington shaver guy said,
"So impressed, I bought the company."
It can carry 22 guests in 11 cabins, and it has a crew of 33, or it will do. We'll move on. We've got some funky footage here of the new Moonrise. And now we don't know where this is, and we don't have a name for the person who sent it in. This is Jan Koom's latest yacht, one of 2 yachts he owns with the same name. It's really, really nice footage at night. You can see the lights on the vessel as they're zipping around the bottom there. That's one of 2 yachts over 110 meters owned by Jan Koom. Interesting, he's called them both the same name, and he still seems to own both yachts as well. I'm not sure if one of them is going to be up for sale anytime soon. And the last on the list here, we've got some really, really good footage here of Yacht A+. This is not to be confused with Yacht A, the one that looks like a submarine. This is formerly Yacht Topaz, 147 meter or 482 foot yacht, built by Lursen in 2012, 12,500 gross tons, value of around 400 million, and it's owned by Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan. It's one of the largest yachts in the world still at 12,500 gross tons. It's probably, I think it's in the top 10, or it'll certainly be in the top 15. It's a massive yacht, but really, really nice footage there. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another yacht tour. Look out for a video that will drop on Sunday. It is a super yacht tour video of the 55 meter or 180 foot yacht After You, formerly known as Quite Essential, that we're going to do a full tour of, like I said, dropping on Sunday, so look out for that. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. It is Friday, so I hope you all have a great weekend, whether you're working on board a yacht or you're working, on land, or you're not working, having a weekend off like me. If you've got any information for us about any stories, any of the stories that we featured or any other stories, please be sure to get in touch in the email address in the ticker as well. Like I said, guys, have a great weekend. Be sure to like this video and all that jazz, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.